With a color commentary after a week's sabbatical is Mark Miller. Folks, when you talk about tradition, when you talk about coaches and great programs, we're talking about Delphos St. John's and St. Henry. Mark, two school teams that just churn it out year after year.
Unbelievable. On the floor tonight, we got 1,160 wins between two guys, and many games ever. Got it rolling a little bit this year. Both of them 2-1 out of the gate, pretty good.
That's right. Both teams are 2-1 and 1-0 in the MAC. First, let's look at the Blue Jays, a team with very experienced guard persons of Scott Elwer and Jeff Wigging. Without a doubt, the youngsters are the strength of the Blue Jays. Also, some great
guards and nothing underneath them out. This year, they got Paul Satt, excellent ball player, who puts his weight at 6'5", so they get a little rebounding and defensive help inside, but it's really Wigging and Elwer that make this team go, and Elwer is the key tonight scoring.
For St. Henry, you might title this season the year after. The past 2 years, Division III state champs and Division IV state champs. But the only returning starter is Tony Glass. A young team, some familiar names on the floor. Bob Hoying's younger brother is on the floor, and some good size. Fran Gilbo, it's a team that not a lot of experience, but still they're playing well so far.
That's right. Anytime you lose 4 starters, or all 4 playing college athletics, you know you lost a lot of great athletes. But Tony Glass is an excellent returner, a big kid, have the weight underneath, but they still got the great height. And so if they can get their guards up around, those big kids will really even it off a little bit for them.
A lot of crowd, a great crowd on hand making a lot of noise. It's St. Henry, it's Delphos St. John's, and it's your way next on TV 44.
Game featuring the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays and the St. Henry Redskins is being brought to you by Lincoln Mercury and American Pharmacy of Elida and the Canal Pharmacy of Spencerville.
Welcome back to St. Henry High School tonight. WTLW TV 44 brings you the matchup out of the Midwest Athletic Conference as the Redskins host Delphos St. John's. And right now from Mercer County, our national anthem. Before the game, we were talking with some of the St. Henry officials who thought the game might not be a sellout tonight, but certainly looks to be that way. And there you get a look at Fran Gilbo, St. Henry head coach, who during the offseason had 4-way bypass surgery in July. And Fran's back doing very well. Here's our starting line for Delphos. Scott Elwer and Jeff Wigging are the guards. Heath Jackson will play a wing, number 14. Scott Munter at the wing, and in the pivot is Paul Sadler, and Delphos St. John's coached by Bob Arnson. 657 wins going into tonight's game. Now the homestanding St. Henry Redskins. Bradley, a 6'2 senior, averaging 10. Tony Glass, number 40, a 6'5 senior. Brian Holman, the tallest player to ever play for St. Henry in the pivot at 6'7". Mark Gell's a 6-foot junior at a guard. And Tom Point rounds out the start lineup. He is a 6'5 junior. Our JV game was won tonight by St. Henry for Scott Black and Ken Mann. Mark, first of all, welcome back. A great trip to Fresno, a dramatic win for your alma mater.
Well, a great win for Bowling Green and Mid-American Conference. Didn't come easy. An ex-Fresno Bulldog team, but I'll tell you what, you can hand it to Gary Blackney and his Bowling Green Falcons. Dream year, topped it off, winning the California Razor Bowl.
Well, the Falcons made the most of their opportunity out there. A thrilling one-point win, and we're glad Mark was able to cover it, but he's back here tonight to cover high school basketball. What better place to resume our coverage here at St. Henry High School. tip is won by St. Henry. You might notice Delphos with two-tone uniforms on tonight. The trunks to their uniforms, new uniforms they ordered, have not come in. So they have white trunks with their gold. And finally, man all over the Munter with the ball. The quarterback of the football team is a great lead for the Blue. This is Wigging. Coin. 6-6. St. Henry much taller team than this game. And the ball will stay with Blue Jays.
These two guys will be button heads, leading scorer, the leaders of these two teams, and one-on-one together.
Tony Glass with the ball, and he is fouled by Elwer. The gym's still buzzing somewhat. In the JV game, I mentioned that St. Henry won by 52-51. They were down 47-30 in that game. Early in the fourth quarter, put on a 22-4 surge to come away with a victory, and well, you would have thought they would JV win. Turn around baseline and give the deuce to Hoying. First basket of the game goes to St. Henry, and they show some half-court pressure.
You notice Elwell's out and handles the ball.
On the drive, it's Jack to get it to go, and the rebound comes off to Bowman. Looks like Hoying wants to put it up. Now back outside, and Gills traveled with it. Check that, Vikey with the turnover.
Well, St. Henry's got the great height advantage, and so far they've been able to dominate on the defensive boards. It was both times getting one shot.
32nd meeting between the two schools. Delphos holds the edge, 17 wins to 14. Here's Elwer. Can't find that. Sadler with the follow.
That's the big difference from last year's Blue Jay team to this year. They got the big guy down underneath. Didn't play basketball last year. Hit the weight room, got big and strong. Here he is back on the court.
Hustling defense there. St. Henry will keep it. He's 2-1 and 1-0 in league play. Tony Glass, a nice move. We have a foul on the rebound, and it's going to go the other way against the St. Henry Redskins.
Mike, that's the only way that Delphos is going to be able to compete with St. Henry on the boards, and that is to get great position, get him out of there. That time Hoying came over the back of a guy that had better position, even though he was smaller.
Each team now with a team foul. Delphos a win over Men and Union. Here's Elwer for three. Scott Elwer, with his 8th three of this young season, puts the visitors ahead 5-2. Delphos with wins over Salina and Mendon Union. They lost to Crestview. St. Henry defeated Ansonia. I believe we have a travel here. Redskins defeated Ansonia and Parkway. They lost to Greenville.
Coach Bob Unson concerned about St. Henry's 1-2-2 full court press. Hasn't bothered the Blue Jays so far. And they break it again.
Oh, dangerous pass tipped away. And Hoying couldn't quite save it. A nice effort, though, by the youngster.
It's a good try by Mid. He's trying to get it underneath the Sadler for the easy lay-in. That time, you know, a bounce pass has a way of getting through hands that passes don't.
Good pass underneath. Elwer among the tall timbers shows he can score there. And it's 7-2 in favor of Delphos St. John's. Early going. And a blocking foul called against the Blue Jays. Wigging guilty of the foul. Ken Mann on the call.
Well, with the kind of pressure defense that Delphos plays, you're going to get some fouls out front. They just have to be careful they don't get themselves in foul trouble, because Elwer and Wigging, both with one, were to be lost for this Blue Jay team.
Here's Vikey. He'll take it to the hole, and he's fouled. So Vikey, with an aggressive move there, will go to the foul line for Delphos St. John's. Excuse me, for St. Henry. Fans, the holiday season full swing. And TV 44 has a Christmas schedule that will lift your spirits. Tomorrow, that's today for you fans watching the replay, at 3 p.m., WTLW will broadcast a Christmas classic, It's a Wonderful Life. And 11 p.m., join 2 p.m. and 11 p.m. for some wonderful Christmas entertainment. Tough break for Vikey from the foul line. Sadler clears it for the Jays, still leading by 5 at 7-2.
Excellent penetration by Wigging. You know that's what Coach Fran Gilbo's concerned about, penetration by the Delphos guards. Excellent job there by Menor. Pass underneath the Sadler.
Oh, tremendous ball movement there. One thing you know that Bob Arntzen and coach teams are going to do well is pass the ball, and they did it on that sequence there. Elwer with the steal. Scott Elwer makes it 11-2, and St. Henry wants timeout. 4:35 to go, first quarter, and the Blue Jays lead it by 9. Welcome back to St. Henry High School. In the first 3 minutes and 25 seconds of this one, Delphos has dominated. They have a 9-point lead, 11-2, and therefore Fran Gilbo took the timeout.
Well, he had to have one right there. Elwer is the guy that he's concerned about. We talked about the penetration of the Blue Jays guards. That time it was Wegging and Menor that went inside, but Elwer can do that as well. Elwer right now is on a scoring roll. He's got, you know, their last 3 baskets, so they need to stop him. They needed the timeout because they've only been able to hit one shot themselves.
See what St. Henry reacts to this 9-point deficit right now. Markels picks up his dribble, working against the Delphos man-to-man. Here's Tony Glass, kind of forced that one up there, and a rebound comes off to Jackson. Transition here, look at Elwer. And they call a charge. Well, I think that's an awful tough call when the kid's right underneath the basket.
Yeah, you know, when does the ball leave his hand, before or after contact? And certainly Elwer thought it was after, but the referee called it off. Big opportunity here for St. Henry to take advantage of this.
And that is the second foul against Elwer, so we'll have to watch that situation closely. From the outside, Gels can't find it. Glass with an aggressive follow.
Good job by Tony Glass, taking it to the board. Went up and over the smaller Delphos Blue Jay players.
That makes the score 11-4. The Blue Jays by 7. 3:40 to go in the first quarter.
St. Henry in a zone now, going to make Delphos shoot from the outside to get their points.
Elwer flashes inside. This is Jackson. Elwer has it, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover against the Blue Jays.
Well, Elwer's their go-to guy for the Blue Jays, and with 2 fouls, he's got to be very careful here in the first quarter.
Substitution coming into the game is Brian Gerlach. So Gerlach comes into the action, a 5'11 senior. He's handling the ball right now. Hoying the turnaround. Hoying with his second basket, and that makes it 11-6. So after the timeout, St. Henry has answered with 4 points, and it's a 5-point lead now for the Blue Jays at 11-6 as we approach 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Oh, a dangerous pass inside. Another turnover against the blue and gold. On the overplay, turnover forced there by the Delphos defense as Hoying threw it away.
Boy, if you want to teach your young guys how to play man-to-man defense, you got to watch the Blue Jays. You talk about cutting off the lanes, man. These guys get in front of those guys that are driving and just stop them cold. There's a turnover again, out of bounds on Delphos.
Well, that time, Wegging tried to break the trap with dribble along the sideline, and that's almost a no-no.
You know, I've heard coaches say it a lot of times, you pass to break the zone press. Right now, to this point at least, they've been breaking it by dribbling. That time it got them in trouble.
So both teams have been plagued by turnovers here in the first quarter. Loose ball situation here. Hoying comes out with it. Gerlach thought about 3. This is Hoying again. And the rebound comes off to Wegging. Transition ball here for the Blue Jays. Wegging. And he'll go to the foul line. So a nice aggressive move there by Jeff Wegging.
Well, whoever gets the rebound, they don't mind, other than the big guy, Paul Sadler. They don't mind kicking it out and dribbling on a fast break. They want to run.
The Christmas song you've sung since you were a child. TV 44's Turning Point examines the stories behind 13 of the beloved Christmas songs of all time. Watch Turning Point's Hymns in History, a Christmas special, Christmas Day at 12:30 and 9 p.m. At the line will be Wegging. So far in this young season, Wegging's a 67% foul shooter. The Jays hitting 65% as a team from the stripe.
6'8", Eric Horston in for Paul Sadler for the Blue Jays, giving the big guy a rest and bringing in a bigger guy.
Delphos with a lot of height. Here's a steal by Wegging, and he puts it in. That makes the score 14-6.
Full court pressure by Delphos, man-to-man.
Blue Jays up by 8 points. They look to be the quicker team tonight, Mark.
I think you're right.
Tony Glass can't get the three. A nice follow. And the rebound comes off to Jackson. Here's Munter. Rebound off to Gels. They look to be a bit quicker. Delphos does. It looks like they want a little bit more.
I think they want to run it on offense, and they want to play the pressure defense, which allows them to use their quickness as well. Here we go. Men around again.
From the slot. Great play there by Tony Glass.
Menor knew he had Elwer trailing on the right side, but he thought if I go strong, I'll get the foul. No, Glass got all the ball.
And on the possession arrow, Delphos will keep it. Mark Spilas comes into the action for the Blue Jays. And Jackson takes a seat. Spilas has 4 threes so far this year. He's set up for one right now. Spilas pulled off the bench, buries it from behind the three-point line.
Boy, how's that? Hints of John Havlicek coming right off the bench and hitting one from the outside.
The score says 16-6, but I thought that was a three-pointer from that vantage point. Evidently only a 2 as the score remains 16-6. My mistake there. 1:25 to go here in the first period. Delphos by 10. They add to it here with drive by Wigging.
Boy, oh boy. He went through 3 of them that time to get the hoop.
Lackey with the ball inside. This is Hoying. And he puts it in with a foul. Tom Hoying with a strong move, and Hurston committed personal. Fran Gill had to like that one.
Well, Hoying's a big, strong guy. He's only a junior quarterback on the football team. Looks a lot like his brother, especially in his build. When he gets that ball inside, he's tough to guard. He's strong, he can jump, and he's got the great long arm.
Greg Bruns now in the game as Gels takes a seat. 3-point play tonight, however, and it's 18-8. Blue Jays 10 with the basketball.
Right there, Elwer was breaking to the basket. That ball would have gone out of bounds, but Glass got a hand on it and tipped it away, so Delphos retains possession.
Elwer has it now. Back outside, this is Wigging.
Against this zone defense, they're having Elwer run the baseline, try to get him open inside.
Hurston will take the shot. Oh, beautiful move there by Hurston, the big guy at 6'8" with his first basket. And there's yet another turnover. The Blue Jays dominating ahead 20-8, looking to add to it right here in the final minute of the first quarter. Good play there by Bikey. Inside turnaround shot and give it to Homan. First time we called his name. Homan been quiet here in the first until right then. Elwer, he's hammered on the drive. I don't believe that will be a shooting foul as Scott was trying to dish off. Boy, Delphos went out 11-2. Fran Gilbo to take a timeout, but still the Blue Jays have controlled the proceedings here in the first canto, leading by 10 with 17 seconds to go. Let's see if the Jays set up for the final shot of the quarter. Spilas the ball to Elwer. They wing it around the perimeter here. Wigging, he's got it.
Wigging is afraid to shoot over home, and I'm not sure he could see the basket, but he put it in.
Time for St. Henry, down to 4 seconds to go, and a foul's called. That's going to be the 6th team foul against Delphos already. 4 seconds to go in the quarter, so that could be an item later on in this first half. St. Henry's committed only 3 team fouls. That one went against Hurston. He quickly has 2. And St. Henry time for a final shot here. Glass wide open.
Elwer blocked it.
And that is the end of the first quarter. A good one for the Blue Jays. After 1, our score, Delphos St. John's 22, St. Henry 10.
Portion of tonight's game featuring the Delphos St. John Blue Jays and the St. Henry Redskins is being brought to you by St. Rita's Medical Center, Imperial Office Systems, and by Indeed.
Henry High School at 1 quarter of play. Our score, Delphos St. John's 22, St. Henry 10. Mike Shep and Mark Miller speaking to you, and we thank you for tuning in to this Friday night, Saturday afternoon replay of high school basketball here on TV before. Delphos dominated first quarter. They lead by start quarter number 2.
Well, it was a case of quickness down. But also it took its toll. Foul category to see if that determines they got away from that pressure defense.
Ball right now. Nice drive here by Mike, but he gets a ball, and Elwer's at it.
He hit the ground. He dished it out.
Well, there again. And Blues comes out to Delphos.
Three zone by St. Henry. Delphos setting up the perimeter with 4 shooters.
And that ball went off the standard above, out of bounds. Our first quarter stats are brought to you by Imperial Office Systems. For Delphos, they are 9 for 15 from the field for 60%, while St. Henry 5 for 14 for 38%. 3-point shooting, Delphos is 1 for 3, while St. Henry's 0 for 2. From the free throw line, St. Henry 0 for 3, Delphos 1 for 2. Rebounds, 7 for each team. 6 turnovers for Delphos and 7 for the Redskins.
A lot of turnovers for both teams. They'll have to cut that down to win.
That shot's off the iron by the Redskins, so right now they are down by 12. And Delphos has the basketball. Wiggin, a dangerous drive. Elwer sets up for 3. Shooter's foul. The second 3 for Elwer makes it 27-12. And there's a traveling call against the Redskins. Mark, I think right now the pace of this game is too quick for St. Henry.
Well, St. Henry's guys, their jerseys are really wet, so they're sweating, they're working hard. You don't know how tired they're getting, but the big guys have played the whole way so far. It's a lot of running, chasing them little guys around.
Oh, nice move by Sadler, and the rebound comes off. And a foul's called on the rebound against Sadler. And this will put St. Henry in the bonus very early in this contest.
That's one of those make-up fouls that you talk about occasionally, and that's 4 from the pivot position, 2 for Sadler, 2 for Hurston.
Fans, it's double dip, double header next weekend. Friday night, we'll bring you first round action from the Wayne Christmas Tournament. Game 1 features Crestview against Lincoln View. Game 2 immediately follows and finds the host Raiders squaring off against the Fort Jennings Musketeers. On Saturday, we'll have consolation and championship round action. Both nights begin at a special time, 10 p.m. Be sure to join TV44 Sports for a double dip, double header weekend next week, the Wayne Trace Holiday Tournament. Well, Brian Holman will get another chance as Waking for the life of him tried to stay out of the lane. In too early, and a new foul shot here for Holman. A 6'7" senior. Well, Brian might be the guy Delphos wants at the line. He's shooting 29% from the stripe coming into this game. But he certainly improved on it there. That makes it 27 of 14. Blue Jays with big cushion here. 2 minutes into our second quarter.
Sadler in the middle, he's got the height, they can throw it in, he kicks it right back out.
There he takes the shot, he's got it. Paul Sadler already with 6 points, and the Jays lead it 29-14. Elwer, you can't bounce past when he's around.
He's got great hands and great awareness.
And Wiggin connects.
It's amazing how in high school, especially, great athletes in one sport are great athletes in another sport because they got what it takes.
Well, the Blue Jays made a trip down Route 66 cheering their team on right now as Holman answers for St. Henry.
Big basket by Holman. Boy, did St. Henry need that hoop.
31-16 our score. Delphos leads by 15 and an over and back call to go against Jeff Wiggin. Pull-up jumper. Elwer gets the rebound out. Spielis ahead of the group. This is Jackson. Boy, the Blue Jays shot 60% in the first quarter, and they're improving on it here in the second.
Well, they shot 50% for the year so far. big foul. Elwer's third.
So Elwer has to come out with 4:39 to go in the first half. Foul number 3 against.
Well, he's the guy that makes them go. He's the guy that everybody looks for when they're going down the court. They know if they get it to Scott, good things will happen. And he's on the bench right now. Big cushion, but his guy is picking.
And comes for Elwer, who will sit for the final 3-9 of this second quarter. Spielus on the wrist, and he double dribbled. Once again, the Blue Jays with white trunks on tonight because their new road uniforms have not come in. Must be still in transit. The Holly Rush must have as the Blue Jays' new uniform.
Some of the players even have them around the JV game. Look.
They had the ball trailing by and a travel against the Redskins.
Well, I'll tell you what, the defense by Delphos is just suffocating St. Henry right now. Every time they get an entry pass, there's somebody right there between them and the basket. That time, Gels couldn't even see the basket. He was underneath it.
It's like a 3-2 zone. St. Henry trying to zone up against Delphos. Of course, a new rule this year that St. Henry does not have to force the action. One of the rule changes for this season.
Of course, if Delphos did pull out, it'd be silly for St. Henry not to because they're down by so many points. But that, you're right, that's their choice.
Of course, if I'm Delphos, I keep attacking the basket. The way they've been shooting the ball and moving here.
They got you're right, they got Elwer on the bench, but they still got guys down here that can shoot and take to the hoop. They're just getting organized what they want to do right now.
Oh, Wiggins wide open, back turned. Can't get it to go. As that time the St. Henry defender lost track of where Wiggins was. So a missed opportunity there for the blue and gold and a reach around foul on Paul Sadler, and that is number 3 on him.
Well, there's serious foul trouble now with Delphos. Only in the first half and 3.5 minutes to go in it. Sadler and Elwer both on the bench with 3 fouls, and I'll tell you what, the guy they just brought in, Hurston's got 2.
So already 5 fouls from the pivot position for Delphos St. John's. This is Holman. Not too often you see 2 schools that have consecutive winning seasons of over 20. But St. Henry has had 27 straight winning seasons. And Delphos has had 24 straight winning years. What great addition.
Hey, Holman's hit 4 foul shots in a round. He got fixed during the week off.
On the drive, it's checked away nicely there by Holman. 33-18. St. Henry down by 15. Good dishes from Brass to Hoying.
Glass got doubled. He knew somebody was open. He found Hoying for the easy lay-in. Great pass.
Now it's 33-20. The last 5 points have been scored by St. Henry. Under 3 minutes to go now in the half.
St. Henry back to man-to-man. Without Elwer on the court, they don't have to worry about that penetration.
Wiggin takes the pull-up J. Jeff Wiggin now in doubles with 11. The 2 big guns for Delphos have combined for 23 of their 35 points in Elwer and Wiggin.
Tough break for the Blue Jays there. They had to steal. They just couldn't hold on to it. It bounced to Tony Glass right underneath the basket.
So Tony Glass now has 6 points in the contest. And he'll be going for a 3-point play. His first. Off the miss, Jays have it. Brian Miller now in the game for Delphos St. John's, number 32.
He's only a sophomore. JV last year as a freshman. Did a great job for him.
Good dish out pass for Hurston. He hits it with a foul. I think the foul was away from the ball underneath, and it went against Delphos St. John's and Miller, who's just into the game. The basket goes by Hurston. That is his 4th point, and will come the other way, and St. Henry will be shooting foul shots with Brad Vikey. Mark, right now, St. John's a comfortable lead, but they are piling up the fouls.
Yeah, and that's going to be a telltale factor later in the game. They've got to come out the second half and stay away from them for the majority of the third quarter. Or that fourth quarter, they're really going to be hindered defensively. Anytime you play pressure defense, you take a couple of chances. You know, you body them up a lot. You take a slap at it every now and then to get the turnover. We've seen that a lot so far. You get a lot of fouls. You can't do that or else you're sitting on the bench.
And Vikey has his first 2 points in the game. And it's 37-24. Blue Jays by 13. They have the basketball with under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
St. Henry doing what they have to, and that's hit their foul shots. If you're going to get fouled a lot, you got to make it from the free throw line.
Muncher with a nice move. Tough break there. Was out of bounds to the Redskins. Scott Muncher with a nice aggressive move, but couldn't capitalize.
Benner's got a lot of quickness too, and we notice he's guarding Tony Glass. That's 5'11" against 6'6". To be quick and work hard, and he is quick. Another one of those Blue Jay football players.
Tony Glass has to get rid of it. This is Gerlach. Vikey for 3. That's an air ball. Out of bounds goes to Delphos St. John's. It's interesting to note that St. Henry has hit 14 threes coming into this game, but I'm checking my sheet. I don't believe they have any so far tonight.
Tough to shoot a 3 when somebody's right in your face, and that's what Delphos is trying to do.
And a traveling call against Keith Jackson. Bob Arnson using the bench. Jamie Dotson comes into the game, and Hurston will take a seat. Dotson, number 30. Of course, Tony Glass, a totally different role for him this year, Mark Miller.
Well, he's the only guy coming back, the only guy that got to play a lot, and as a prime-timer, a starter on a team that won the state championship, so they're looking at him to be the leader, the guy, and offensively and defensively, he's got to show him ropes out here.
And also, in a game like this, he has to exhibit some composure. And Wigging with the bucket off the turnover.
Of course, when your leader is a 6'6" guy that plays underneath, the guards got to do their part in getting it down the floor. That's a problem right now.
Glass has to force that one up. Rebound to Hoying.
Oh, Hoying is the guy in the right spot at the right time. He's had 3 baskets tonight. That's all he's done is stand underneath the hoop and catch it and put it back in.
He leads the St. Henry scorers with 10. 39-26, Jays by 13. Let's see what they decide to do here with 25 seconds to go in the quarter.
Jamie Dotson, 6'4" junior, is keep bringing big guys off the bench. That's a luxury that last year Delphos St. John's did not have.
Now we're down to 10 seconds to go. Wigging with the ball. That's where they want to have it. Good pass inside, but chipped away beautifully. Still time left. We're down to 2. And a charge call against Wigging with 1 second to go. So Wigging called for the personal. No shots here. That is his second, but time to pick up a foul.
Now he's trying to take it strong to the hoop. I think he really wanted to pass it, but he got hammered.
So our first half comes to a close, and a good one it's been for Delphos St. John's. Our score, the Blue Jays 39, St. Henry 26. Right now, let's join CNN for an update from Headline Sports.
You're watching WOSN.
Tonight, a special ceremony was held here at St. Henry High School at the end of the JV game. It honored a JV player from St. Henry by the name of Joel Boring. Joel has been stricken with leukemia. Ohio State basketball coach Randy Ayers was alerted to this situation, and he autographed a basketball that was presented to Joel at the conclusion of the JV game. Let's take a look at that right now.
One of our players this season is fighting a battle with cancer, and Randy Ayers and the Ohio State Buckeyes found out about this, and they signed a basketball for him. We'd like to present him this basketball, Joel.
And welcome back to St. Henry High School. A very fine tribute from Randy Ayers and the Ohio State staff to St. Henry High School's Joel Broering. Our score here at halftime, right, 39-26, Delphos St. John's with a 13-point lead. And let's take a look at some of our game numbers. First of all, for Delphos, 16 for 28 from the field for 57%. St. Henry 10 for 24 for 42%. From the line, the Blue Jays are 1 for 2, while St. Henry is 6 for 12. From three-point country, St. Henry 0 for 3, Delphos 3 for 4. Rebounds in the game, all even at 12 apiece. 13 turnovers for St. Henry to 10 for Delphos St. John's. Jeff Wigging leads the Blue Jays. He's 13 points. 10 points for Tom Hoying leads the home team. Mark, some of your thoughts very quickly.
Well, I thought the quickness of Delphos showed up right away, but also the fouls showed up too. It's interesting that they were able to rebound evenly with the taller St. Henry team. It's just a story right now of can they stay away from foul trouble. It's the Blue Jays I'm talking about, so they can continue to pressure defense this young St. Henry team. If they can stay away from fouls, it could be a long second half for St. Henry.
So once again, our score here at halftime, Delphos St. John's 39, and St. Henry 26. We'll be back with a special feature, an interview with Ohio State quarterback Bob Hoying, coming up right after this timeout.
A pleasure it is to have Bob Hoying with us, last year's Mr. Football in the state of Ohio, now a freshman quarterback at Ohio State University. Bob, is it nice to get back to the old stomping grounds again and see your buddies play?
Yeah, it is. Never realize how much you miss basketball when you get back, especially see my brother play out there. You know, me and Scott Brunswick were talking up there before, and you know, you don't miss football because we're playing it, and you get back here and you miss basketball.
Well, after the bowl game, you have to play some intramurals down there at Ohio State, huh? Tell us, how is it? Big shift, big change, St. Henry, Ohio, down to Ohio State.
I'd say the biggest switch is everybody's good. You know, every athlete, everybody's, you know, all state there, or you know, on that level. And I'd say that's the biggest change that anybody has to go through.
They're all great players.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're first team or third team. You're all good players.
Yeah.
Well, how's the bowl week preparation? It's a brand new experience for you, although
Right.
you went to states and you got ready. But this time you're going to get on the plane. You're going to go to a warm place. How's the preparations going for the bowl game?
Right now we went about 9 or 10 straight days, about 3-hour practices. So I'm a little tired right now, to say the least. But I think we'll be ready. We got Kirk Herbstreit going right now, so everybody has a lot of confidence in him. So I think we'll be all right.
Well, how's it look? Everybody around here wants to know how's it look for Bob Hoying in the next 4 years. Certainly we're all pulling for you. And with the quarterback position a little uncertain throughout the course of the year, you might get that shot in the spring.
Yeah, I definitely have to have a good spring for me to do anything next year. But you know, I'm real confident right now. It's you know, after Kent graduates, it'll be 3 quarterbacks, and whoever we get next, you know, this coming year in recruiting. But right now I feel real confident. I'm getting the offense real well. It's nothing hard. But you know, I just got to keep on learning and getting better.
Well, we wish you nothing but the best of luck, the Buckeyes and you and Kevin Niekamp down there. And we would love to see Big Bob Hoying starting for the Buckeyes sometime real soon. Lots of luck.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Bob. We'll be right back with the second half.
This portion of tonight's game, featuring the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays and the St. Henry Redskins, is being brought to you by Lima Lumber, Molten Gas, and by Easter Tire and Retreading.
Welcome back to St. Henry High School. Our third quarter of action is about to begin. The Delphos St. John's Blue Jays lead the homestanding Redskins by a score of 39-26 in this Midwest Athletic Conference matchup. Both teams 2-1 in the year and 1-0 in league play. Our JV game was won tonight by St. Henry 52-51. On the line on the floor right now is Elwer, Wigging, Jackson, Munter, and Sadler. Original starting 5, Barnes for Elwer, Sadler with 3 fouls each.
The key is how long can they stay away from number 4.
Jackson's a nice little opening there, and a rebound is cleared by Tony Glass. Stole away. Look at the guard play here, and checked away. Well, that time it was a victim of numbers was Brian Holman, who's on the floor along with Hoying and Tony Glass. Ryan Gerlach, runs on the floor. And the 5th starter is Brad Bikey for St. Henry.
Boy, Boy, Wigging went after that ball like a shark after blood, man. He saw it laying on the floor and he went after it and got it.
One more coming up here for Sadler. That was only the third foul shot taken by the Blue Jays.
Sadler's an excellent football player, a tight end being recruited very heavily.
And the rebound comes off to Homan. So let's see if St. Henry can cut into this 13th deficit. Oh, nice lob there, but a missed opportunity for the Redskins. Pikey couldn't get it down. Elwer, nice dish pass to Sadler.
Boy, the Blue Jays are so unselfish. It gets in trouble sometimes because they turn it over, but they are very willing to pass it all.
And that shows you how much Elwer scares the team with that drive. They collapsed on him. Holman couldn't find that one, and Elwer has the rebound.
Well, Elwer has it all. He can shoot the three, he can penetrate, he can dish it off. You saw right there, he rebounds. We know he can play defense. He's guarding Tony Glass. He's got the whole package for a high school basketball player.
Inside, Sadler did a good job catching the ball because he was off balance when the ball came to him, and he was fouled.
We're seeing a little different philosophy by Coach Bob Arntz in this half. The first half, they were perimeter players. They really didn't go into Sadler too much until Elwer got in trouble with fouls. Now, 3 straight times down the court, they're going inside to Sadler, saying, all right, big guy, go in there and battle him. At least you'll get to the foul line where he's at right now.
And Sadler really the only height on the floor for Delphos. Everyone else around 6 foot and 5'11". That's for the starting lineup.
Of course, this may be where St. Henry wants Paul Sadler. He's having a little trouble finding range from the foul line right here.
Well, Sadler now has 9 points in the game, and Delphos has a 42-26 lead, a 1-point led by 17. Hoying, little turnaround move, and Homan with the answer. Homan with 10 points here in the game, makes it 42-28. St. Henry cannot trade baskets with the Blue Jays. They have to get a couple stops here. Foul call here underneath as Elwer drove.
You know, Elwer does have good speed, but what he's got more of that is quickness. The step he has is unbelievable. Especially, you know, he makes a 3-point shot. The one step he's by you. He went by the glass that time when Tony thought he was going to block a shot attempt.
Well, here's a youngster who scored 50 points in a game last year against New Knoxville. And I have to think a couple late going. The Blue Jays might have pulled out the kid, and that's when he was a sophomore.
That tells you a lot about this guy. As a sophomore, he's the man at state tournament.
We haven't talked about him because he throws there on that occasion.
Well, you always jinx a guy when he's at ball.
Oh, the back cut pass goes astray. Delphos comes out with it. Elwer turns it over. So the turnovers. They were in double figures in the first half in that department. 42-8, St. down by 14. 2 minutes to move around his man. First field, Mikey makes it 42-30.
Delphos defensive guy very often allow the man the lane to the basket like that, but that time Jeff Wigging got beat to the hoop.
Here's Elwer. Brings it back. St. Henry into man-to-man. Boy, he had to improvise that one. A nice rebound by Glass. Tony Glass showing fine athletic ability there. Inside to Holman. Well, Mark, looks like the big kid's starting to assert himself underneath.
Yeah, no secret. Fran Gilboa at halftime said, let's go inside, use our height. Every time so far, they're dishing it inside to Glass, Holman, and Hoying.
St. Henry has scored the last 3 baskets to cut the lead to 10. Dangerous pass here. And the Blue Jays get new life.
When Elwer penetrates now the second half, somebody else is stepping out and stopping him from shooting it. That's the difference between the first half and so far here in the second half.
Elwer's being checked by Glass. That's a huge height disparity, but with Elwer's quickness, it's negated. Wiggin. Rebound to Tony Glass. Tony Glass working hard tonight. Homan, a little short there, but Hoying with the follow. 8 straight points for the home team, and it's 42-34.
Down below 10 points, first time in a long time.
Elwer, great pass inside to Jackson, to Sadler. Nice passing there by the Blue Jays. Nets them the easy one, and it's back to a 10-point lead. at 44-34.
Bowman's aggressiveness at the offensive end is wearing off. He's playing more aggressive defensively as well.
Tony Glass, nice shot there by Glass, the veteran, now with 8 points.
Tough shot, double team, 4 hands in his face, and he still hit the jumper.
44-36, Delphos by 8 with the ball. We approach 3.5 minutes to go in quarter number 3. Elwer, he's open. Can't get it there. I don't know if Glass is going to be able to stay on Elwer, Mark. He looks awful tired.
He does look tired, and he got run ragged in the first half. Not getting much better in the second half. Elwer really moves without the ball. You see a lot of great players like that, especially forward types that can go inside. They're always running, always moving. It's tough to even find them, let alone stay up with them. And Glass is 6'6".
Mark Gels comes into the action for the St. Henry Redskins. So Delphos has the ball back off the turnover. They still lead it by 8. Elwer, nice little pull-up. Scott now has 14 points. First basket in half gives the Jays a 10-point lead at 46-36.
There they go inside again.
And Hoying hits it.
That is definitely the game plan.
Tom Hoying, the 6'5 junior, leads to Henry with 14. Back to an 8-point lead for the Blue against Elwer. Ryan Gerlach comes into the action. And Bikey takes a seat. Well, that's one thing you see Fran Gilbo do a lot more this year of, Mark, is use that bench.
Well, you know, last year he had the great ones that he could just stay in, play with the whole game until they were up by so many points. They got to sit down the rest of the night. This year he's trying to get a lot of young guys ready. Delphos makes a substitution too. Jackson came off and said, my stomach. He pointed his stomach. He's not feeling too good. They substitute. Spielis comes back in.
Spielis, a fine outside shooter. Now Tony Glass inside where he works well. Tony Glass in doubles with 10, and it's a 6-point game at 46-40. Blue Jays take a timeout. 2:19 to go, third quarter. Our score, Delphos St. John's 46, St. Henry 40. Fans, it's double dip, double header next weekend. Friday night, we'll bring you the first round action from the Wayne Trace Christmas Tournament. Game 1 features Crestview against Lincoln View. Game 2 immediately follows and finds the host Raiders squaring off against the Fort Jennings Musketeers. On Saturday, we'll have the consolation and championship round action. Both nights begin at a special time, 10 p.m. Be sure to join TV 44 Sports for double dip, double header weekend. Next week, the Wayne Trace Holiday Tournament.
Mike Fran Gilbo from St. Henry doesn't win a lot of games for nothing. He's got Glass, Homan, and Hoying 6'6", 6'7", 6'5", and he's going to him inside against Paul Sadler, who's got 3 fouls for Delphos.
And Delphos goes with a penetration, Wigging a tough break there. So now, St. Henry down by 6 with the basketball. Tony Glass can't get it to fall, and Elwer clears. Nice bounce pass down to Sadler. Elwer with a nifty little pull-up jumper. He's so quick. If you go out on him, he'll go right by you. 48-40. Elwer with the steal. Look at that, folks. Boy, and Hadley can turn around a game in a hurry.
Well, he's unbelievable. He does it all over the floor, and they're having trouble finding him right now.
Now a 10-point lead for the Jays at 50-40. Inside, putting up and in is Glass.
Glass answers. What a great one-on-one matchup we're having now. Elwer for Delphos, Glass asserting himself for St. Henry's, and they're really answering each other up and down the court.
Elwer has the ball right now. He's posting up against the big guys. Wigging outside, almost taken away. Wigging, a nice move, and a foul's called. This quarter's been a reverse of the first half when Delphos got into foul trouble. They haven't committed a foul here in the third quarter, and that is the 4th team foul against St. Henry. That is the 3rd personal against Hoying. Remember, this year, 17 fouls before teams shoot the bonus.
And that's a big point you bring up. No fouls in the third quarter. We talked about it at halftime. That's what the Blue Jays had to do to allow themselves to play that pressure defense and stay aggressive in the fourth quarter. Looks like they've made it through, but with 55 seconds to go, another foul against Elwer, and all that could go down the drain.
At the foul line for Delphos St. John's will be Jeff Wigging. Jeff's a 67% foul shooter. 2 shots here. Last year's meeting went to St. Henry, 82-62. Which last year the Redskins were never really challenged except for a couple games down the stretch and their loss to Van Wert.
Last year, St. Henry had even more size inside because they had to wait to go with the height. Delphos had none.
Mikey gets it inside. Little hook shot by Holman. How often do you see that at the high school level?
You ought to see it more with a 6'7" kid. They'll never block that shot.
Elwer a little fall away. Rebound comes off to Jackson. Nice little swivel move. Wigging. 17 for him. The guard tandem have combined for 35 points. Elwer and Wigging, and it's 54-44. The Jays up by 10 again with 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Blocking fouls called against Spielus. That is the first foul against Delphos of this half. And we have 11 seconds to go with the quarter. Special thanks to Tim Beckman and his entire staff here at St. Henry High School for hosting TV 44. Shot from the outside, doesn't go. Tough break there for Gels. We come the other way with 2 seconds, 1, and our third quarter comes to a close. After 3, our score, Delphos St. John's 54, St. Henry 44.
This game featuring the Delphos St. John Blue Jays and the St. Henry Redskins is being brought to you by Call, West Ohio Gas, and by LP Vetters Building Suppliers.
Come back to St. Henry High School. Folks, the word legend is overused a lot in sports, but right there, a legendary sports writer, Ritter Collette from the Dayton Daily News, just voted in to the baseball writers wing of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Quite an honor for Ritter. Next August, he'll be inducted in Cooperstown, taking in the game tonight here at St. Henry. A 10-point lead for Delphos as we start our final quarter. After the timeout, Delphos trailed by, led by 6. They added to it. Now have this 10-point margin as we start our final quarter. It's been a good one here from St. Henry High School. Mark Miller and Mike Sheff speaking with you, hoping you're enjoying the broadcast of our Friday night, Saturday afternoon replay of high school basketball.
I expect St. Henry to keep dumping it inside. They'd love to get that 4th foul on Sadler.
Well, Tony Glass has an opening. 14 for Tony, including a dozen here in the second half. 54-46, back to an 8-point margin for the Delphos St. John's Blue Jays. And a charge call will go against Wigging. That will be his 3rd foul. Second team foul against Delphos St. John's.
Against a team that loves to penetrate, you got to play position defense. You got to get your feet in front of them, so if they do decide to go to the basket, they may go through you and not around you.
Aggressive man-to-man being played by the Blue Jays as trying to get the ball away from the point. And a foul's called. That will go against Munter. Only the 3rd team foul against Delphos St. John's. Glass off the inbounds.
What a great inbounds play when you got a height advantage. The lob for the little bank shot.
They used that play a lot last year with Brunswick and Hoying. The first 4 points of the quarter scored by St. Henry. It's back to a 6-point margin for the Blue Jays. Munter way too hard. Rebound comes off to the St. Henry Redskins and Greg Bruns. Another turnover though against St. Henry. Boy, that could have been a big one.
They're still trying to go inside though. They tried to find Holden, a little too hard with the pass. They're looking for Elwer. They want him, they need a basket.
Oh, sloppy pass there. Sadler, a good job tracking it down. Now back out to Elwer.
That's why Sadler can play tight end. He's made some great catches tonight in his basketball.
That time, Elwer got right around glass. Let's take a look at our third quarter stats brought to you by Imperial Office Systems. For Delphos, 22 for 42 from the field, 54%. St. Henry, 20 for 38 for 52%. St. Henry, 6 for 12 from the line, while Delphos is 4 for 10. St. Henry still has not hit from three-point country, and there, Elwer capitalizes. 20 rebounds in the game for St. Henry, 17 for Delphos. 12 turnovers for the Jays and 18 for St. Henry. Once again, Elwer takes the three. That's not there. Jackson, a nice job chasing that ball down. This is Sadler underneath. And he brings it back outside. Jays lead it by 9, 57-48. We approach 6 minutes to go. Packed house here at St. Henry High School for this Midwest Athletic Conference matchup. There's a reach-in foul on glass. Tony's trying hard, doing a good job, but Elwer is just so quick. I'd like to remind you, next basketball action on WIMA is Friday. And high school action is Lima Senior takes on Middletown next Friday night, 11:50 on your dial out of the GMC. Blue Jays up by 9, under 6 minutes to go now. St. Henry's back in a zone.
Delphos not afraid to tick the clock here for a good shot.
There's a dangerous pass, though, and a foul's called. That pass had turnover written all over it. It also put Munter in a bad spot as he ran right over Greg Bruns.
Well, he went for the ball aggressively, and that was the best move in that situation, because if he doesn't come up with it, it's a layup going the other direction.
So St. Henry will get the ball back, but they're down by 9, and slowly but surely, time's become a factor. 5.5 minutes to go in this one. Oh, a dangerous pass there, another turnover. As Jackson comes out with a steal. Jackson takes the shot. It goes out of bounds and will be controlled by St. Henry.
Well, we've seen Menor and now Jackson take a shot from the outside, and it just seems like they're not real anxious to do it. They're not real confident. They'd rather go to the scoring guys, Wigging and Elwer.
Here's Mikey with the ball, another turnover. Turned right into Elwer for the easy one.
Well, if a guard out front can turn the opposing guard, you're off guard defensively. Happy there for the pick, and Elwer saw it coming the whole way.
That's 21 for Scott, one under his season average. Pass inside goes astray. They've already committed 2 straight turnovers, and Glass responds.
Great break for St. Henry there. That was a turnover pass. Instead, Glass comes up with it and hits the baseline jumper.
Oh, what a move by Elwer. Gets it to Sadler, and he's hammered. The stop-go move by Elwer. What a piece of work he is.
And then right when they think he's going to take it to the hoop, no matter what, he draws 2 guys up in the air and dishes it underneath.
Fans, the holiday season is in full swing, and TV 44 has a Christmas schedule that will lift your spirits. Tomorrow, today for you fans watching our Saturday replay, at 3 p.m., WTLW will broadcast the Christmas classic, Wonderful Life. And at 11 p.m., join Bing Crosby for the Bells of St. Mary's. That's Saturday at 3 p.m. and 11 p.m. Some wonderful Christmas entertainment. Time out on the floor. Our score, Delphos St. John's 59, St. Henry 50. Welcome back to St. Henry High School. The second timeout just called by St. Henry coach Fran Gilbo. His team down by 9 with 4:42 to go. Fran, it's great to see him back coaching again after going under surgery. A quadruple bypass last August, and Fran doing very well, came back to his coaching and teaching duties in late October, and looks great.
He sure does. It's good to see him here. You know, one would say, well, a high school basketball coach, that's a lot of pressure. I don't know, he just kind of sat and watched last year. He didn't have too many close games, but I'm sure his stomach was churning the whole time. But hopefully this will fix him up and he can go for a lot of more years coaching this team.
Sadler hits 1 out of 2. The big guy has 12. Delphos up 10. It's 60-50. Holman off the window. The big kids starting to assert themselves. 16 for Brian Holman, and it's 60-52.
Tell you what, you got to hand it to St. Henry. They're in this thing. They hadn't been pretty, but the big guys are working. They're pounding away, and they're playing defense as hard as they can. They're trying to stop Elwer and Wigging.
Now under 4:20 to go here in the game. You won't see Delphos milk the clock too much. They're offensive minded. Elwer with the ball. That's a three. 26 for Scott Elwer. His fourth three by our book. And what a killer. That puts the Jays up again by 11. Gels has it tipped away. And Blue Jays come out with it. Another turnover against the home team. Elwer again. That could almost salt the game away right there. This that quickly. Elwer with 2 straight threes. Makes it a 14-point lead for the Blue Jays.
Well, he's trying to get back-to-back threes all night. He was just missing. That time he nailed them.
Now from the side. Oh, a beautiful shot there by Bruns. Nice high arch on that one. But still, St. Henry's down by a dozen at 66-54.
The Redskins had to have that three, and they got it, so they still have a chance. 3 minutes to go is a lot of time in high school basketball.
And they're going to have to trap the ball, maybe do some double teaming here, try to force some turnovers. And playing with a man-to-man defense. They have no other choice right now with 3 minutes straight up left in this one.
Well, one thing for sure, St. Henry cannot afford to let Elwer score the way he has been. They've got to stop him and keep the ball away from him.
Elwer gets right past Glass, and he's fouled. Fran Gibble, I think, wants to talk things over again. Another timeout on the floor. 2:46 to go. Our score, Delphos St. John's 66, St. Henry 54.
Mike, you talked about the 2 keys that Elwer put back-to-back and how that kills a team, and it sure has. There you take a look at him, 29 points. He has done it all tonight. He scored inside, he scored from the outside, as we've just seen. He plays great defense, leads the team in steals, and certainly he is the go-to guy. With 3 early fouls, Delphos was in trouble of losing their leader. He went the 3rd quarter and so far all of the 4th with no more fouls, and he can play as aggressively as he wants.
Well, Fran Gilbo just took his 3rd timeout. Scott Elwer at the line for 2. And he now has 30 points in the contest. A bit below his career high of 50 set last year against New Knoxville. And Elwer gets the rebound. So now the Jays lead it by 13. That was the spread at halftime.
All great scorers want the ball, and you can see Scott Elwer calling for it. He's reaching for it. He's working for it. He wants the ball. He wants to score. He feels like he can.
Now under 2.5 minutes to go. Nice cut pass to Elwer. And the Blue Jays looks like they just want to milk the clock a bit here. Under 2:15 to go now. This is Wigging.
They're taking a little time out of 2 fouls.
And Tony Glass committed the personal. That will send Elwer to the free throw line.
You know, a lot of times you see a guy that's 6 foot or 6'1" like Scott Elwer, you think, oh boy, we don't have enough height, because he's really the second kind of biggest underneath guy that they got outside of center. But what that does is the other team's going to play man-to-man. They got to put a big guy on him. They can't stay with him. We've seen that first step. Nobody can stay with him.
Elwer with 31. Mentioned him being a second-generation player. His dad, Denny Elwer, played for the Blue Jays back in the late 60s, early 70s, but he was a pivot man. Denny, a taller fellow than his son. 32, including 20 in this half for Scott Elwer. Under 2 minutes to go now. The Blue Jays seemingly with this one safely in hand at 69-54. Tony Glass a little short on that one, and Elwer has the rebound. Blue Jays will spread things up. Let Scott have the ball. He gets past Glass and the dish pass to Sadler.
Well, he knew that. He knew if he could get by Glass, somebody's going to have to step out and take him, and he was going to get us an assist, and he sure did.
Well, the Jays have matched their biggest lead of the night at 71-54. They really busted things wide open here in the 4th quarter, and there's a 3 by Bruns.
Bruns has hit a couple of tough threes. That time, good defense. He went up for it, got it over and down in for the three again.
But that's a weapon that St. Henry has not been able to utilize tonight. They had 14 threes coming into this game. Oh, great steal here. And Hoying puts it in. Tom Hoying's played hard tonight. He has 16. That makes it 71-59.
I'll tell you what, Tony Glass is staggering. He's so tired. He
Very
has worked
tired.
his heart out, but it's over for him.
So Tony Glass called for the first. Tony has tired, but when you have to hit like Elwer, and you're 6, well, you can see his uniform is just so big tonight. That is the 4th foul on Glass. Clock stopped at 47 seconds to go. St. Henry will fall to 2 in the year and 1-1 in the MAC league play. Scott Elwer will get one more. And Glass had rebound. Tony Glass look away pass. Off the iron, that shot is by Gels. Here's Elwer with the breakaway. Scott Elwer now with 35 and 23 and a half. And a foul is called against the Blue Jays. Mark, one thing to look at with Scott, he sat out 4.5 minutes in the first half because of 3 fouls.
You know, we talked about him in football. There's a lot of football players for this Delphos team on the basketball floor right now. Elwer was got some all-state as a defensive back, was an excellent quarterback. Again, played a lot of different positions in football, just like basketball, he can do it all. Very versatile player. After a half minute to go, and the game is really over, they're still playing like crazy.
Tony Glass with 20, right? Usually things get very sloppy at this juncture and with this point spread, but not tonight. 5 left, the Blue Jays up 74-61. Now under 10. Delphos St. John's winding the clock down will put this one away. The Blue Jays, an impressive offensive show as they defeat the St. Henry Redskins. The final score, Delphos St. John's 74, St. Henry 61. Welcome back to St. Henry High School tonight. The Delphos St. John's Blue Jays defeat the homestanding Redskins by a score of 74-61. And with us is the winning coach, Bob Arnson. Coach, congratulations, a fine win.
Thanks, Mike. We didn't know what we had when we came down here tonight, but I think that was, again, a pretty good St. Henry team, and we found out we could play a little bit of defense, and we're pretty quick.
Coach, St. Henry, a much taller team than you. What were you looking for tonight coming into this game?
Well, just about the way they started out. 2 guys posting low on the blocks, but thank God they didn't start the first half hitting them like they did in the second half, because they got 2 good inside guys that post up real hard, and they can finish it off by putting the basket.
Coach, you don't have a whole lot of experience coming back, but what you do is at the guard positions. How important is it to have 2 ball handlers like Elwer and Wiggin outside with all that game experience?
Well, when the chips are down, like we went down from about a 15-point lead down to 6, it's real important to have a guy like Wiggin in particular, because you capture him. And then we let Elwer roam a little bit, and one of them will find him, and he can handle the ball when he's got it then. He can finish her off.
Coach, you've worked with this team for about a month and a half now. Any surprises, anything that you think the team needs to work on, things of this nature?
Oh, we need a lot of help defense down inside, but it's been a pleasant surprise the way that Munner's played and that Turkey Jackson's played, and especially Paul's 10 to 15 points tonight, and he always knows where to go when our 2 guards drive. He knows where to stand so they can give him an easy shot.
Well, Coach, it's great fun covering your team. Congratulations on the win. Good luck the rest of the year.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
And we'll be back to St. Henry after this time out on TV 44. Back to St. Henry High School tonight. The Delphos St. John's Blue Jays, an impressive offensive showing, defeat St. Henry by a score of 74-61. And right now, let's take a look at some of our game stats. For the Blue Jays from the field, 25 for 50 for 50%, while St. Henry was 25 for 46 for 53%. From the foul line, both teams 50%. Delphos 9 for 18, the Redskins 6 for 12. From the three-point line, Delphos 5 for 10, St. Henry 2 for 8. Rebounding a slight edge to St. Henry, 22-20. The Redskins had 23 turnovers to 17 for the Blue Jays. Scott Elwer led all scorers. He had 35 points, while Tony Glass led St. Henry with 20. With the victory, Delphos goes to 3-1 in the season and 2-0 in league play, while St. Henry drops to 2-2 and 1-1 in league play. Our JV game was won tonight by St. Henry by a score of 52-51. Mark, I believe that the quickness of Delphos St. John's really asserted itself in this contest. St. Henry really tried hard at game effort, but the Blue Jays just too quick all over the floor.
You're exactly right. It was quickness against height, and in this case, quickness won out. St. Henry's got a lot of good things to look forward to. Those three big guys down underneath, if they stay aggressive, they can score a lot of points. What a classic matchup between Elwer and Glass. 55 points between them, but really take your hat off to Scott Elwer. He showed me he can do it. We knew he was a great athlete. He's in great basketball.
Have you working with you. That'll about do it from here. Before we go, a special thanks to Tim Beckman and the entire staff here at St. Henry High School for hosting TV 44. Once again, our final score in tonight's action. Delphos St. John's 74, St. Henry 61. For Mark Miller and our entire technical crew, this is Mike Shepp, wishing all of you a very Merry Christmas.